You're sipping lukewarm coffee at 11:45 p.m. when a message pings in. It's your client. "Hey, can you shoot me the financials from the whistleblower case? It's urgent. Promise I won't forward them." Your eyes squint, your brain whirs, and in that moment you are not just a professional. You are an ethical trapeze artist balancing duty, trust, and the undeniable urge to just make the problem go away. But here's the question. Do you actually send that info? This isn't just a hypothetical. It's a daily dilemma across industries. Whether you are a lawyer, consultant, IT specialist, or just someone holding a key to the confidential kingdom, the pressure is real. Clients want quick answers, and sometimes that means they are requesting information that was never meant to leave the vault. So what do? Let's start with what counts as confidential. It's a lot. Confidential information is not just state secrets or shady backroom deals. In the professional world, it can be as simple as internal emails, performance reviews, or private client communications. The American Bar Association's Model Rule 1.6 makes it crystal clear. Lawyers, for example, are prohibited from revealing any information relating to the representation of a client unless the client gives informed consent. This is not optional, it's fundamental. Even something as mundane as a client's tone during a meeting can fall under this umbrella. Now let's clear up a common confusion: confidentiality versus privilege. These two aren't interchangeable. Attorney-client privilege refers to specific communications made in confidence for legal advice, and it's usually invoked in court. Confidentiality, on the other hand, is broader and applies to virtually everything related to a client, regardless of whether you're prepping for a deposition or just discussing weekend golf plans during a strategy session. In short, privilege is courtroom armor. Confidentiality is a 24/7 security system. That said, there are a few crucial exceptions. No rule is absolute, not even this one. You can break confidentiality if the client gives informed, written consent. That's not code for "they texted me, it's cool." It needs to be documented, clear, and unequivocal. Another exception: implied authorization. For example, if a junior associate needs to share information with a paralegal to complete a task, that's generally acceptable. There are also scenarios where confidentiality takes a backseat to safety or legality. If a client is planning to harm someone or commit a serious financial crime, you may be legally obligated to report it. And if you are being sued for malpractice or facing a disciplinary complaint, you are allowed to defend yourself, even if that means sharing some of that confidential info to do so. Now, why does all this matter? Because the stakes have never been higher. In 2025 alone, healthcare data breaches affected more than 29 million individuals. Yes, million with an M, that's just in the first half of the year. In June alone, 66 separate incidents exposed the data of more than 7.1 million people. These aren't theoretical numbers, they are pulled from actual reports filed with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and analyzed by the Compliancy Group, a trusted authority in Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act compliance. Think about it. Every exposed record represents a patient, a customer, a client, someone whose trust was compromised. Globally, data breaches are a financial black hole. Cybercrime is expected to cost the world a mind-numbing $10.5 trillion annually by the end of 2025. The average cost of a single breach: roughly $4.88 million. That's not just money, that's lost trust, reputational damage, and potentially career-ending lawsuits. And yet, surveys show a startling disconnect. While 89% of organizations believe their software-as-a-service platforms are secure, a shocking 75% have experienced breaches. That's like saying, "I locked the door," while burglars waltz through the window. There's no shortage of real-world cautionary tales. Take the infamous Tarasoff case from 1976. A therapist failed to warn a woman about a credible threat made by her patient. She was later murdered, and the courts ruled that the duty to warn trumped confidentiality. Fast forward to 2025, and we see similar lessons playing out in the corporate world. Qantas, Australia's flagship airline, suffered a massive data breach due to a misconfigured third-party vendor system. Names, contact info, even birthdays of frequent flyers, exposed in a single digital misstep. It was an embarrassing and costly reminder that confidentiality isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a must. So what can professionals do to stay on the right side of this ethical minefield? For starters, get everything in writing. If a client wants information shared, make sure they have signed off literally. Relying on vague verbal approvals or casual Slack messages won't hold up if things go sideways. Implement clear non-disclosure agreements with specific terms. What's confidential, how long it stays that way, and what happens if someone breaks the rules. This isn't just about legal cover, it's about setting clear expectations from the start. Documenting everything also protects both parties, reducing misunderstandings and disputes. Use secure tools, double-check who has access to shared drives, and audit your tech stack regularly. Don't assume a tool is safe because it's popular. Do your homework. Encryption, permission settings, and access logs are your friends here. And whatever you do, train your team. Confidentiality is not just your responsibility, it's everyone's. Regular workshops, mock scenarios, and clear policies help make confidentiality part of your workplace culture, not just a checkbox on a form. Still, even with all the protocols in place, you'll face moments of pressure. A client will insist they need a document just this once, or you'll be tempted to share a little too much during a networking lunch. It won't always feel like a big deal in the moment, but those moments matter. This is where your ethical instincts need to kick in like a spidey sense. Ask yourself, do I have written consent? Is this truly necessary? Am I protecting the client or just avoiding conflict? Ethical lapses often don't start with malicious intent. They start with convenience, shortcuts, or misplaced trust. That's why you must be intentional. When something feels off, trust that instinct. Pause, clarify, and if needed, say no with confidence. You're not being difficult, you are doing your job right. Let's imagine a little dialogue to make this real, and keep it light. Client, hey, could you forward me those whistleblower complaint files? I had a lunch meeting and want to make a good impression. You? Well, that depends. Have you signed the authorization form? Client, do I really need to? It's just lunch. You, and I just really like my career, so yes. Signature first, sandwich second. Funny? Yes, but also serious, because the moment you compromise on confidentiality, even a little, you are opening a door that's very hard to close. Let's land this plane. If a client asks for confidential info, and none of the exceptions apply, your answer should be a polite but firm no. If they've given written, informed consent, you're in the clear, as long as you stick to the scope they have approved. If there's an imminent threat to life or a court demands disclosure, the ethical rules support you. And if you're defending yourself in a legal matter, you're also allowed to disclose, but only what's necessary. Think of confidentiality like a firewall. It's not about secrecy. It's about safety, integrity, and trust. To sum it all up, when a client urgently asks, "Can you send that confidential file?" You need to pause, not panic, just pause. Then run through your mental checklist: consent, necessity, legal obligations, safety concerns. Only then, if all the boxes are ticked, do you proceed. Otherwise, you protect the information like it's the crown jewels of your profession, because in many ways it is. So do you share it? The short answer: not unless you're absolutely sure you're allowed to. The longer answer: only if the law, the client, and your own ethical compass are all pointing to yes. Because in the end, trust isn't built on how quickly you respond. It's built on how well you protect what was never yours to share. So next time you get that late-night message asking for something confidential, don't just hit send, hit pause. Ethics aren't about being perfect. They're about being intentional. Protect the trust you've earned, even when it's inconvenient. Got a story about a confidentiality close call? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear how you handled it. If this helped you think twice before clicking forward, go ahead and hit that like, and be sure to subscribe. Stay smart, stay ethical, and I'll see you in the next one.